fractal is come from math science. So it's a definition that you can divide a number of things in proportionally every time. For example, I have 1, I get this 1, I divide by 2. That is a proportional. So 1, I have half. I get these 2 parts and I divide by 2 again, I have 4. I get my 4 parts, I divide by 2, I have 8. My 8, I have 16. And then like this. I can do it differently. I get my 1, I divide by 3. So my 3, I divide by 3, I have 9. I get my 9, I divide by 3, I have 27. And let's go like this. I can do again differently. I get my 1, I divide by 2, I get my 2, I divide by 3, and let's go. You can use our imagination. In spinning, what you do the same, but we're using colors. You use the colors like repetition in the line of yarns, and every time you divide the colors, you go to divide the repetition of the colors in the sequence of the lines in different bobbins, and you go to apply these bobbins together to have a effect of fractal in our yarn. So that's a great interesting thing. So let's go to check my table. I have an example to show how to start doing this and how long this process. I go to show you some parts of my yarn. Okay, let's go. So here I'm working with 4 colors, and these are my sequences. It's very important to get in mind you go to work only with solid colors. Why? Because you are working and you are mixing colors together. If you have something like this, the colors have been mixed together here already. So you will not get the effect that you are looking for. So you need something that's a solid color. For example, here I have something that is mixed, but my color is almost solid. It's a strong color gathered together. It's different. Like here you have a purple, I have blue, I have yellow, I have a brown, I have orange. This doesn't work. Here I have a concentration of red and orange very close. Here I have a different one because it's light. And his is more dark, is darker. So I can see the difference. So this is my first bobbin. I put in sequence red, gray, light orange, and white. So I get 30 grams of every color. I put 10 grams for each, and I go to spin 3 bobbins. My first bobbins, I have 10 grams for each color. My second bobbins, I have 5 grams for each color that I go to spin. Red, gray, light to orange, and white. And then I go to repeat the same thing here. So I go to have a bobbin that I have 2 repetition of my pattern of colors. And my third, I will have 4 times the same repetition. And then when I go to apply my 3-ply yarns, I have the 3 repetition, 3 patterns, 3 different patterns of the yarn mixed together. Okay? So now I go to my spinning wheel, I start to spinning this, I show this to you how this is going up, and let's go there. So I'm here in my second part of my fractal yarn. So you can see here my bobbin, I add my second color now, and as I explained before, I'm doing a semi-woolen yarn. So I have here my second color. I have my guide line here, my guide strand. Why I put this? Because I'm drafting short for back drafting, And my guideline helped me to have an idea and help me to be constant. So this guideline lets me know how far can I go. So how can I do this? I get my yarn, my fiber. I check the strand length of the fiber. So here I have around 3.5 inches, and I calculate this, how many drafting I will do with in my drafting. Here I calculate 3 times. So I multiply the drafting for 3, and I attach this in my spinning wheel to have a reference in this. So I do 1 treadle for drafting, because the ratio of my spinning wheel is my old one, and I have 23/1. So it's a big ratio. And then I use this in my pinky to show me this. So let's go to see how this works. So I have something done, and I go 1, 2, and 3. I let go with 1, 2, 3, and let go 1, 2, 3. Let go in. Go to put back far a little bit. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and get away. 1, 2, 3, go in. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. So I lost my fiber, but I'd like just to tell you something. Here I have a part of my fiber was pre-draft. That helps a lot your work. So this is a part that I didn't draft. So it's better to pre-draft because it can help. How do you do this? Just get your fiber and pull a little bit. It doesn't break the fiber. Just pull a little bit like this. Okay? I go to spinning here, and I show you next step later. So today I'm here to start apply my fractal yarn. So I get a few seconds to show my Lizzie Cates. I have 3 models. I have this one with 3 bobbins that I can use to ply. I have this one, and my yarn comes in this way here. I have this other model here that I have each bobbin in this way, and it's very important to put the yarn come outside in the same way like this. And I have this one for 2 bobbins. The bobbins is put in vertical side, and I get my yarn. Both comes outside in the same way, not this way, but in the other way like this. And to not be mixed, and then they will come out in that way here, and the yarn will come out in this way here. I use it to get my Lizzie Kate with a little break like this, because to the bobbin that is spin around and make some to mix the yarn before the point that I like to have some twist in my hand. So I installed some break like this in my Lizzie Kate just to stop my bobbins to spin along by itself. Okay, so let's start now to ply my fractal yarn. So I started plying my yarn, and what is the difference
between ply, 2-ply and 3-ply yarn. It's not a lot. I use my two hands. My first hand to pinch my yarn between my spin wheel and my yarn. I used to separate here my yarn between my both hands just to have no energy between here. I like to be sure that no energy between here and not any energy here. And the second hand, the function is to separate the yarn from the bobbins, and don't let any pigtails go to pass between here, both hands here. And here you have to get some tension to check your twist and count your treadles. So I'm counting 8 treadling to let my yarn go. So I put there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now it's time to let go. Why 8? Because 8 treadling is the amount of treadling that I have my yarn checking like this, is almost start twisting and doesn't start making. As you can see here, I try to get my one hand here. Here I have my smallest, my weak point of the yarn. Here, if I get here, my yarn is not starting, almost starting make a pigtail. That is the tension 0 between my yarn. That's the best point to be balanced yarn. Okay, that's mean my yarn is 0 tension. If I apply a little more, I start to make a pigtail. That mean my yarn will have imbalance in some side. Doing this, I will have a twist in Z side. That means I have to slow down my twist. So that's I'd like to show. So I will still spinning my yarn. In the end, I show what I have done. Okay, thank you. See you later.